What's up, YouTube? Chris Morris with Millennial Money here. How are you guys? Man, I can't believe a week has gone by already, and yet here we are with another video. In today's video, I want to talk about side hustling, or a side hustle, or a side job, or a second form of income, whatever you want to call it. I like side hustling just because it sounds cooler, and I'm cool. Anyway, more on that later. If you're watching this for the first time, I'd like to say thank you for stopping by. Be sure to like and subscribe, and don't forget to hit the bell for notifications. Also, later on in the video, watch for a question that you can comment on down below. What is a side hustle? A side hustle is a second form of income. It can be traditional or non-traditional. It doesn't really matter. It can be anything from maybe you work 9 to 5 at an engineering firm, and then in the evening you deliver pizza. Maybe you drive Lyft or Uber in your spare time at nights or in the weekends. Or maybe you have a little non-traditional source of income. Maybe you wrote a book, and now for every book that you sell, you are getting paid a percentage of the commission for that book. Or maybe you do something like teach people a skill. Maybe you know how to play the piano really well, or maybe you can play the guitar. Maybe you're an expert soccer player and you're able to coach people on how to become better soccer players. All of those are side hustles. Did you know that since 2017, 5.5% of people have had a second job in the United States? And before that, from 2013 going backwards, 6% of people had a second job. Little numbers can have a really big impact. So having a second job or another source of income or side hustle is a great way to have a big impact on your future while you have more time, while you have more energy, and while you potentially have more resources to be able to do something. So what are some little things you can do now that will have a big impact in the future? That's what you need to be thinking about when you're thinking side hustle. Why side hustle? Why would someone want to trade their valuable time for something that they don't feel like they really need? Let's say you have a great job right now and you're getting paid $60,000 a year. Why would you want to go and spend your evenings and your weekends on doing something else? Well, there's a lot of reasons. Maybe you want to get out of debt, or maybe you want to save more money. And if you're curious on how to save more money, go ahead at the end of this video, click on the link over here on how to create a budget. That could be a really great way that you could save more money. Also, maybe you just want more experience. Maybe you're new to the workforce and you want to try something different out. Go ahead, give it a shot. Get a side job doing whatever that passion project is for you. Maybe you just want more experience. By getting more experience, you could be making yourself more marketable or more valuable to your current company. Maybe you just want to learn something new. Maybe you hate what you do from 9 to 5, and having a side hustle will give you the opportunity to learn new skills. Maybe that's video editing. Maybe you want to start a YouTube channel. Maybe you just want to go after something that you absolutely love to do, whatever that is. So how do you pick? How do you know what you should do as a side hustle? That's a great question, and I'm glad that you asked, because I'm going to share with you one of the ways that might help you discover what that is. My first suggestion would be this: go out, talk to people, find people who are doing what you think you want to do, and ask them, how did you get into this? What do you like about your job? What are the things that you hate about your job? This is great insight and could only help you in trying to figure out what that thing is that you want to pursue. The second reason, go on the internet. The internet is so amazing because we have the entire world at our fingertips. And all we have to do is look it up. You can find so much information about potential careers or other opportunities if you just go and look for it. You can ask and find so many different resources on so many different things. Use it to your advantage. The third thing, ask yourself, what do I like to do? So often we get pigeonholed into something that will either pay really well. And don't get me wrong, that's important. But at the same time, if it pays really well, but you hate what you do for 5 to 6, maybe even 7 days a week, you're not going to want to do that in the long term. You need to ask yourself, what is it that I like? What is it that I'm good at? And what is it that I can take these skills and passions and combine them and make me successful? So what is something that you love to do? What is something that you're passionate about? What is something maybe you're already good at and love to do? Comment below, and then look for other people who are doing the same thing that you want to do, whether that's in your community, in your neighborhood, online. The world is your oyster. Go and crack that sucker open. So rather than me sit here and talk about all this stuff, why don't I help you? So I generated a couple things. Here's what I came up with. You can either sell something or provide a service. Now, I know that these two can be a little confusing, so let me clarify. Sell something. So often there are tons of things that you will have all around you. Maybe you have a collection of books, maybe you have comics, maybe you have cards that you've collected over time, or maybe you like clothes, maybe you have a ton of shoes. Who knows? Sell some of that stuff. And there's all kinds of videos on how you can sell things. Sell stuff. That is a great way to make money, and in doing so, you're already side hustling because you already have the stuff and now you're selling it to other people who want it. Sell your skills. The second thing I would say is sell your skills. So many of you have spent so much time becoming an expert in 1, 2, maybe even 3 things. All you have to do is create something with that and then sell it. You all have heard of the 10,000 hour rule, right? Well, you have already been doing that for your whole life leading up to this point. So use what you already have. Use that skill to create something and then sell that to people. Sell that object, whatever that is. Some examples of selling that skill could be create something. Maybe you are great at organizing. You can sell organization to people. Maybe that's in an office setting. Maybe that's in their home. People pay money for these kind of things. You just have to figure out where that market actually is. Another thing you could do, maybe you are great at social media. Maybe you are the Twitter master or the Instagram king or queen. Use your skills in social media to help a small business and have them pay for whatever it is that you're helping them with. The third thing that I would say is find something that people use or need. There are so many examples of this. There are people who need all kinds of different things. You just have to find out what that is. And everybody needs most of these things anyway. Now, in providing a service, what does that mean? A service is something that you are giving to somebody, but it's reoccurring. So unlike a product where you might use it once, you purchase it, you use it, you purchase it, you use it. A service could be a repetition of that. Or maybe you're giving it to somebody on a more consistent basis. So maybe that's daily, weekly, monthly. Dog food or providing the service of getting someone their dog food could be an example of that. So when we're talking about providing a service, you want to sell your skills or educate people. Now, what does that actually look like? How do you sell your skills? I know we've talked about musical lessons before this. Maybe you are the world's best drummer. Maybe you are the world's most awesome guitarist. I can only do air guitar, and that's okay. But use that to sell a service of teaching guitar lessons or teach drum lessons or piano lessons. People want to learn these skills, and if you market them correctly and show that you are an expert, because 10,000 hour rule, right? You can sell that to them. Another example would be sell your organizational skills. Now, I know we talked about organization as selling something, but you can help people to organize. What do you think people like administrative assistants are for? They are helping somebody, a specific individual or group of individuals, to remain organized. That is a skill that you can sell. And sometimes these skills or these services that you're selling are one-to-one. For every hour or day that you're providing that service, you're getting paid for that time. So this can be a great way if you don't have all the time in the world. It's direct compensation, hour for hour. A third service you could potentially provide is maybe you walk dogs. Maybe you are the dog whisperer, the dog walking king or queen. Well, use that. You're taking your dog out, your own dog out for a walk, right? Take someone else's with you. Take the neighbors. They're at work all day. They're exhausted. You're going to go out anyway. You just made a couple bucks. Cook food for people. I know I love to eat. I want to eat at least 3 times a day. So why not use that skill that you have of cooking a meal to provide sustenance and enjoyment for someone else? People absolutely pay for this kind of stuff, and they'll pay a pretty penny. There are tons more of ideas, and I don't want you to be limited by any of the things that I just suggested, but I would highly encourage you, be creative. We'll be side hustling in no time. So I wanted to share with you guys my story. So where am I at in this journey to be successful? Well, you're looking at one of my side hustles that I'm trying to start right now, YouTube. Eventually, when I get enough people, when I've put enough videos out there and people enjoy the content, and hopefully I'm educating all of you along the way and you find it entertaining, then there's money to be made. I currently have a 9-to-5 job where I work as an engineer, and most of the time that leaves my evenings and weekends free. So I'm making YouTube videos at night, 1, 2, maybe 3 nights a week, depending on how long editing takes. That's a whole new skill that I'm having to learn, and it has been a process, let me tell you. If you look at video number 1 and now we're at video number 3, I think you'll be able to see a production quality difference. At least that's what I hope. But that's just one of the skills that I'm learning in this process of becoming successful, that you have to branch out and you have to be open and creative. In addition to my 9-to-5 and trying to start a YouTube channel, I'm investing in myself. I take money from my paycheck every week and I'm putting it into investment accounts, trying to create dividends so that every month I get paid. I also am in the military and I do it on weekends. So that's just these 4 sources of income that I am trying to create to make myself successful in the long run. And it is hard. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. There's days I don't want to go and do my 9-to-5. There's days that I don't want to go work for the military. There's days that I don't want to create YouTube. But the key is to think about the delayed gratification and how this will benefit me in the future. And I have to do this so often, and it has been so helpful to surround yourself with people that want to do the same thing. I would encourage you, if you're starting out on this journey, don't do it alone. You need people. You have to be in community. And this YouTube channel is hopefully one of those places that you can draw inspiration and you can draw encouragement so that you know you can keep doing this. Having said all that, I want to say thank you so much for stopping by. I really appreciate your guys' time. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel if you like what I'm doing or you like what you see. And be sure to hit that bell so you get all notifications of upcoming videos. And remember, we put out videos every single week on Thursdays. Also, down in the description, I'm going to link to you some of the resources that I use to create this video. And there's also an affiliate link in there. If you want to start investing in stocks or things like that, go check that out. But we'll be talking more about that in future videos.